And there's a supplement that it's just near and dear to your heart. It's magnesium.
Right.
You want to talk about that?
Right. Where is the magnesium? Okay, here's magnesium citrate. You can use magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate. And both forms are very good. Let me tell you what magnesium is most important for. There's 700 enzymatic reactions in your body. Enzymes are proteins that catalyze biochemical reactions within our cells. There are over 700 enzymes in our cells that require, or in our body that require, magnesium to catalyze the enzymatic reaction. If you don't have enough magnesium in your body, and the average American obtains about 40% of the recommended daily allowance of the FDA, which is very low anyway, and so almost all Americans are low in magnesium. Magnesium is essential for producing the energy molecules in your cells that enable your cells to function. That's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. There are 10 steps to convert adenosine diphosphate to triphosphate. That's the energy molecule that's within the cell. That's how it's the currency of the cell. Like we use dollar bills, that's our currency in America to buy and sell goods. The currency in the cells is ATP to transport energy. So the cells have to run. They have to have energy to run. They need ATP. 8 of the 10 steps to take adenosine triphosphate and convert it to the energy cell adenosine triphosphate, 8 of the 10 steps, enzymatic reactions require magnesium. So it helps with energy. It helps regulate heart rhythm. It's important for balancing calcium, so we don't get a buildup of calcium in our cells. If we get a buildup of calcium, we have low levels of magnesium. The smooth muscles cramp up. If you got cramp in your legs, you're having a problem with cramping and you're running or you're an athlete, you're low magnesium. It causes tetany. It causes the cramps in your legs or in your thighs or anywhere in your body. If you have a lot of cramps, get on magnesium. I recommend somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 to 1,000 milligrams a day of magnesium. And it also helps with the production of serotonin in your brain. It helps you feel good. It helps lower blood pressure because it dilates up the arteries. So if you have high blood pressure, guess what? The way to treat high blood pressure is to put somebody on magnesium. If you're an adult male, good size, 180, 200 pounds, you need 800 to 1,000 milligrams a day. If you're a female, you probably need somewhere around 600 to 800 milligrams a day. You do that, it helps balance the calcium. If all you do is take calcium, you're going to raise your blood pressure. You're going to cause the muscles in the artery wall to cramp down. Magnesium also regulates heart rhythm. It's so very important for that. I used to do emergency medicine, and if somebody came in with a heart attack and they had an irregular beat, we would IV magnesium, 2,000 milligrams IV into their vein, and it would regulate their heart and would go into a normal sinus rhythm, like beep, beep, beep. But if they didn't have enough magnesium and they had a heart attack, go beep, 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 and you give them the magnesium and it would just calm it down. So magnesium is very important for heart rhythm, and it helps clean out the arteries. It helps take the calcium, which get embedded into the plaque and cause atherosclerosis or hardening of the arteries. That's calcium that make the coronary arteries hard. Well, you don't want that to happen. You've got to have magnesium to keep that clean. There's numerous benefits. Bowel function. If you got problems with constipation, and I would say constipation, you don't have a regular bowel movement once or twice a day, you're constipated. You know, I've had people tell me, yeah, I'm a regular, I have a bowel movement at least twice a week, whether I need to or not. Well, that's constipated, folks. And magnesium, particularly citrate more than glycinate, will help you promote good bowel function, which is important to help prevent cancer of the colon. The reason Americans have a high incidence of cancer of the colon is they tend to be constipated. Why are they constipated? Well, they're low in magnesium, and they're also hypothyroid. They're low in thyroid. So they end up getting cancer of the colon because their excrement isn't excreted. It just sits in the bowel and makes the walls of the bowel eventually sick, and it inflames them, and they get cancer. So magnesium is important in the detoxification process because it helps produce the energy that enables the body to detoxify. So magnesium is really key and very important.
And Dr. Hotze, one of the absolute best supplements is glutathione for detoxification.
That's right. Glutathione is an amino acid made up of glutamine, glycine, and cysteine. And it is a product of the body. The body produces it. Liver produces glutathione as an antioxidant. It's a wonderful antioxidant. By antioxidant, what we mean, it's against oxidants. And a cell that is oxidated is a free radical. These are terms you probably have heard. Maybe it's hard to explain, but the free radicals are produced inside the body, and primarily from oxygen. You get oxygen-free radicals. That means an oxygen, instead of being O2, it's O1, and it's lost one of its electrons, so it's reactive, and it needs to balance it. It feels very unstable when a molecule loses an electron. And remember, from chemistry, you have the nucleus made up of protons, which are positively charged, neutrons, which are neutrally charged, and then around the atom you have electrons. Depending how many protons and neutrons you have in the nucleus and how many electrons you have determines what the element is. Okay? So in the human body, when our body uses, you got to have oxygen. That's part of the energy build process. In developing energy in the body, you have to use oxygen to help create energy. That's why we breathe the air, so we can take oxygen in our blood and it can be diffused into the cells. We have to oxygenate our body. If you don't have oxygen, you will die. If you go underwater, that's why you can't breathe water, because water is H2O, it's not O2. And if you breathe that in, even though there's oxygen in the water, H2O, there's 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, you can't breathe it. You got to have O2, that's what you breathe. But oxygen in our cells, when it combines in the energy reaction, forms a free radical, an oxygen that misses an electron, and it becomes reactive. And we call it a free radical. Think of radical as being something bad. Radical. So the free radicals float around and they damage tissue, and that's why you have to have antioxidants that will bind to that oxygen and suck it in and neutralize the absence of the negative charge there. That's what glutathione does, and that's what all the antioxidants, and we'll talk about the other antioxidants, they neutralize the free radicals. If you don't neutralize the free radicals, they will damage the cell membranes and intracellular structures in our cells, and that's what causes toxic damage to our cells when we don't have enough antioxidants to neutralize the free radicals. Think of oxidation is, an example of oxidation would be rust on an iron piece of metal. You know, you get rust. That's oxidation. Well, that's what happens inside our bodies if we don't have enough free radicals. Or if you have a piece of fruit and you cut an apple in half and leave it out on the counter for a couple hours, it turns brown. It's oxidized. And so, as a matter of fact, you can spray vitamin C on top of an apple, liquid vitamin C, and you know it won't oxidize. It'll stay fresh. That's what vitamin C does. It's an antioxidant as well. And I presume you can do the same thing with glutathione. But even though our body makes glutathione, when we have an added stress and toxic load on our body, we don't make enough glutathione to be able to properly detoxify our body. So you can take it, there's a couple of ways you can take it, injectably or IV, which is hard to do, but the easiest way to do is take it orally. Now you can take it you can either try to make your own and stimulate making your own by taking N-acetylcysteine, which is a building block one of the building blocks for glutathione, that and glycine and glutamine, which are amino acids. Or you can take liposomal glutathione. Liposomal means it's just it's a liposome, which is a lipid-like structure in which the glutathione is embedded, and it crosses in from your digestive tract through the cells. It doesn't have to be digested. It isn't broken down. It goes straight through the walls, into the bloodstream, and then into the cells. And it carries the glutathione. One thing about the glutathione, it has sulfur in it. It's a sulfur. It's a sulfur product. The amino acids in it, when it forms, have sulfur on them, so it smells kind of like rotten egg. It doesn't smell all that good and doesn't taste all that good either. So what you do is you mix it up with a little bit of water, and then hold your nose and throw it back.
I just take it straight. Just
do you?
Do it, absolutely.
Yikes.
Yep.
That's the breath. That's the what? No. But if you have that, it'll taste that way and be on your breath. Matter of fact, I went to kiss my wife goodbye this morning, and she said, "You need to brush your teeth. It smells like rotten egg." That's that glutathione.
Right.
She knew. She said she didn't like to taste that, but it's very healthy for you. So take that with water.
And the next supplement that we're going to talk about is milk thistle. Now, this one is something that we recommend all the time, and it's been around for about 2,000 years.
They've been using it. At least it's probably been around since the creation of man, but for 2,000 years it's been used medicinally.
Right. And so it's very protective for the liver and detoxification, because liver is our main detoxifier.
Right. And the milk thistle has been shown in numerous studies to improve liver function by protecting it from toxins and inflammation. And the oxidants found, for instance, in milk thistle help your liver not only repair itself, but to regrow any tissue that may have been damaged due to the oxidative stress from free radicals. So we recommend that and use that, particularly in patients that come in and have elevated liver enzymes. We will always put them on milk thistle, and you can take that just as a prophylactic, particularly if you have a glass of wine at night, or you have a cocktail or two over the weekend, or you have 3 cocktails over the weekend or whatever. Milk thistle will just help protect your liver.
Right. And this next one, now this is something that people generally think about taking when they're feeling sick, vitamin C. And this is one of your favorites because it's a wonderful antioxidant as well.
Well, vitamin C, of course, is ascorbic acid, and it is a wonderful antioxidant. It's the backbone of our antioxidant program. And it squelches the free radicals, those molecules that float in the blood, or the oxygen that floats in the blood that's missing electrons because it's gone through a chemical reaction, or from the chemicals that you're exposed to, the petrochemical products and byproducts, the plastic byproducts, and the food additives, and also from the heavy metals. All these can cause free radicals. Well, vitamin C quenches that. It neutralizes that, so it doesn't cause cellular damage. So vitamin C is very important in neutralizing those free radicals in our body that damage the cells. So think about it as a scavenger. Think of it like in Pac-Man. And you've got the free radicals, and it goes, eats them up.
Eats them up, right?
So that's what you think about vitamin C. By the way, vitamin C is also very important for heart health because it enables your cells to produce collagen, which is the protein that holds all the cells together, and it's the protein that lines the inner lining of our arteries, particularly in the coronary arteries. So with vitamin C, proline, and lysine, your body can heal your arteries when they become damaged or inflamed, so they won't have to recruit cholesterol to patch them up. By the way, cholesterol is just a Band-Aid. It isn't a bad product. It's a Band-Aid to try to Band-Aid the inflamed arteries. If you get rid of cholesterol, then you have no way to that doesn't get rid of the inflammation. You take a drug to get rid of lower cholesterol, you haven't helped your inflammation of the arteries, which is the problem. So you need vitamin C, lysine, and proline, which are 2 amino acids. And by the way, lysine, you've got to get it. It's an essential amino acid that you don't make. And the proline, you make some, but you can take those 2 additionally with vitamin C and make enough collagen to keep your arteries clean. By the way, vitamin C is also very important in stress. Vitamin C concentrates in the adrenal gland at 100 times the level of any other organ in the body. It is essential for making our stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol.
Right. And this next one, alpha lipoic acid, this one is a fat and water-soluble antioxidant. And so let's talk about that one a little bit.
Well, alpha lipoic acid is simply, as you said, it's a very important antioxidant that is made in the liver as well. And what you can do is take additional amounts of lipoic acid when our liver's under stress from the oxidative stress from the chemicals that create a toxic load in our cells and make us sick. You need the additional alpha lipoic acid to help detoxify. And what that means is it quenches the free radicals. It neutralizes them and allows the body to excrete them when they're detoxified.
And there's a special form that we've brought in after doing a lot of research, and we carry a European form because what we found was what we sent out for testing, it had aluminum in it. And so you definitely want to make sure that you have one that is free of aluminum, or you could be just contaminating yourself more.
That's exactly right. And by the way, aluminum has been implicated in Alzheimer's disease. Now, let me just mention something about Alzheimer's disease. Although aluminum has been implicated, and I think all the heavy metals, mercury and lead and aluminum can obviously adversely affect brain function, as well as cause free radicals in the body that damage other tissues. The whole concept with Alzheimer's disease, I think a lot of it has to do with the polypharmacy that people end up being given and the toxic load that this polypharmacy, multiple drugs that they're given by their physicians that cause people to become demented mentally and can't think clearly any longer because they're under this terrible toxic load. And the goal of this would be to remove the toxins from their system to help them think clearly rather than give them more drugs.
Right. And Dr. Hotze, this right here, the Power Pack, I mean, this was designed by you. And it's really like the hub of...
Hey, this is Dr. Hotze's Power Pack.
That is, it's yours. They look like this. It's these little packets. And so really, you've got to have a good vitamin and mineral base.
Right. And the important thing about the Power Pack is that it has B complex in it, which is contained in our major formula that we use.
The energy formula.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so that contains the B complex with some other vitamins and minerals in it. It has coenzyme Q10. Mm-hmm. It's got 60 milligrams of coenzyme Q10. It's got, I think, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Yes. It's got L-arginine in it, and it's got N-acetylcysteine in it.
Right.
So and it's got L-carnitine in it, which is a fat burner. So the N-acetylcysteine is converted to glutathione. It builds your glutathione to help you with your antioxidant. And the coenzyme Q10 is important for heart energy, particularly. Right. And it's also got fish oil. And the fish oil is very important because you need good, healthy oil in your body. People say, well, I don't need oil. Oil is bad for you. No, you need good oil in your body. You don't need trans fatty acids and which come from fried foods and margarines. And those are made for shelf life, so they never go bad. Well, if they don't go bad, they're not good for you. If something won't go bad, it's not going to be good for you. If it won't spoil, that means it's synthetic. So you want to have fish oil, good fish oil, and we have Nordic natural fish oil, which is pure and it contains no mercury whatsoever. And that oil goes into your cells and helps the cell membranes develop their structure, and it's very, very important. And so we have that as well. So here's what I'd recommend. I'd recommend Power Pack 2 a day, okay? You can carry them with you to work, you can have them in the morning. And then on your magnesium citrate, your magnesium, I would take 600 to 1,000 milligrams a day. You have a teaspoon of your glutathione a day, which gives you, I think it's 400 milligrams is what that is. I can't read it. What is that?
Well, I can't
read
either.
Maybe it's 600 for a teaspoon.
422 milligrams.
You take your milk thistle, and you can take those 2 to 4 a day. You want to take vitamin C. I recommend vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams per 25 pounds of body weight. Now, where do I come up with that? Well, did you know that all of the mammals in God's creation make vitamin C except for human beings, primate monkeys, and guinea pigs? That's strange. Why were we left out of the mix? I really don't know, but we don't make it. Vitamin C is so very important. That's one of the reasons the other mammals don't get heart disease. Dogs don't die of heart disease. Bears don't die of heart disease, and their cholesterol can get up to 600 milligrams per deciliter when they're in hibernation. Gets up to a 600 level. And, you know, most people here in America, the doctors go, oh, it's above 200, it's bad for you. Well, bears have it 600, they don't get any blocking of their arteries. So cholesterol doesn't cause blockage of the arteries. But vitamin C in all the mammals, they make 1,000 milligrams per 25 pounds of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, I'd recommend taking 6,000 milligrams a day. If you weigh 200 pounds, then you can take 8,000 milligrams a day. That's what I'd recommend. And that will help you with cardiac function and keeping your arteries clean if you take it with some lysine and some proline. So that's what I recommend on vitamin C. If you get a little loose stool, you got clean bowels, okay? Don't worry about it.
Just back up a little bit.
Right.
Right. Well, this can be a little bit confusing, and I know that we do have people who can help guide some of our guests. And so if you would like some more information on detoxifying your body, please, you can listen to our radio program, KSCV 700 at noon every Monday through Thursday. But you can also contact our vitamin specialist at Physician's Preference. They would love to guide you through this process because it can be a little bit overwhelming. You just don't know where to start. So we really do have to customize that regimen and tailor it to your health goals and needs. That phone number is 1-800-579-6545. Again, 1-800-579-6545. Or you can also visit us at the web at physicianspreference.com. Thank you. Again, I'm Sally Kerr, Vice President of Wellness Programs and Education, and also founder of Lifestyle Changes, which is a program that can help guide you through some of the complexities that are involved when you're making these lifestyle changes. And Dr. Hotze, who is our founder and CEO of Hotze Health and Wellness Center, Hotze Vitamins, and Hotze Pharmacy. Dr. Hotze, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sally, and thank each one of you for joining us today. We hope you found this educational, interesting, and we hope you'll be able to apply it to your life, because what our goal is for you is to help you to restore your health so you can transform your life and then renew your world around you naturally. Thanks for joining us.